My Motivators family. How are you all doing? Welcome into today's podcast and discussion. I truly appreciate every single one of you. Thank you all so much for your support. As always, I wanted to come in and give you a Sunday Live and talk about this topic that there are many things that we have to do in this life and we have to lose to win. And I want to talk about some things that we have to lose at in our life in order to succeed and win. Now, the majority of people out there will only see their failures and blame somebody else. I know most people, that's what they do, not just women, but men as well. When something doesn't work out and pan out the way that they want it to be, they will blame other people and not assume the responsibilities that come with it. When we make poor decisions, when we don't do the right things, when we're not doing what we need to and what we should do, we have to assume that accountability. We have to be mature enough to say, you know what? I'm the one, I did this. I made this mistake. But the majority of people, when they come to, they're facing themselves in the mirror and they realize that, you know what? I'm the problem. I made this mistake. The majority of women or men do not woman up or do not man up and say, you know what? I was wrong for that. My bad. What did I do wrong? And put in some work into themselves so that they can grow and be better. But what they'll do is they get mad, they get angry, they have anger issues, they blame other people, all of those things. Hi, The Haven. How are you doing? Welcome. What they do is they blame other people. Happy Sunday, everybody. They blame other people. They blame their parents. They blame their financial situation instead of being a grown and mature woman or a grown and mature man and saying, you know what? I need to get my education. I need to be accountable for myself. I need to do the right thing. I need to learn to be loyal. I need to be committed. All of those things. Hey, Miss 702, how are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Hey, James, how are you doing? Welcome. Thank you guys so much for the likes. I truly appreciate you all. And I want to say that, for many of us, we get into accepting a lie because a lie is more beautiful to most of us, right? We would rather lie to ourselves. We would rather lie and say, this is this because we want to believe it. We don't want to look at ourselves in the mirror. Hi, Roy. How are you? Hi, I can't say Shuvu. How are you doing? You're in the wrong chat. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't want no foolishness in my chat. I am from Florida, honey. YouTube. So, one of those things about this life is that we have to realize when we do wrong, to not lie to ourselves. We have to learn to accept and receive exactly what it is. When we do wrong, be accountable and say, you know what? I was wrong for this. I was wrong in my relationship. And when we get scarred and hurt from maybe your parents scarred you or hurt you, maybe your siblings, maybe a bad relationship, all of those things, we have to know ourselves, okay? I'm a counselor. So one of the things that I think is so important for us to talk about when we talk about this discussion of talking about you have to lose to win, first you have to be mature. So I'm speaking to all of you, motivators, people who are on an upward cycle. You're trying to shift your mindset. You're trying to shift your focus on all of those things. Roy, I'm from Florida in America. So the majority of people out there just don't want to be accountable. Let's just say that. The majority of people, women and men, do not want to be accountable to themselves. How many people actually, when somebody calls them out, what do they want to do? First thing, blame the person they're in a relationship with, blame their parents. But instead, what we should do, if we want to be a better person, what we should do is we should be saying, you know what? They're right. That's true. Thank you all so much for being here. If you guys could hit the like, I'd really appreciate it. I think that it's important for us to take ownership of it. And not saying that it's an easy thing, because it's very hard. It's very hard. Yes, self-accountability, the Haven. That's one of the hardest things in this life. It's one of the hardest things in this world, for us to be accountable to ourselves. It's be accountable to who you're in a relationship with. And the majority of people, women and men, you have to come to all relationships with maturity. You have to. You have to come to a relationship with maturity, and be grown. Be grown enough to, know your worth, okay? Be grown enough to say, you know what? This is just not, I'm not doing the right thing. I'm not treating people in the right way. Hi, Mr. Louisiana. How are you doing? Thank you so much for sharing, the Haven. I think that it's one of the most important things in this life for us to look at ourselves in the mirror and go about with a self-evaluation. Evaluate yourself, know yourself, and love yourself. Now, I'm telling you that it's one of the hardest things in this life when you come from a background that's rough and tough, okay? If you've been through a very difficult period of time in your life, it's going to be more difficult. It's going to be a harder road for you to be able to accept that, I need to grow up. And I think I saw Miss Eunice walk in. Hi, Miss Eunice. How are you doing? Welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. I wanted to say that 100%. It's not easy when you come from a dysfunctional family. When you come from dysfunction, it's hard for you to step into functional, because everything that you've been introduced to, the way you talk, the way you handle situations, has not always been the best. But it doesn't mean that it's something impossible. It's not impossible. It's something that's very possible and very important for us to be able to say, you know what I have been introduced to, what I have been taught, the things that have been said to me, yeah, all of those things. It's important for us to be able to be honest with ourselves and to admit, I had to go about that in my life as well. Going through the motions and saying to myself, you know what? You came from dysfunction. You came from disruption. You came from negativity. You came from hiding your past, hiding all the skeletons in your closet. And the majority of people, when we go through traumas, when we go through dysfunction, we do not talk about the things. We hide it, we lie about it, we say that it was other people, but we do not be woman enough or man enough to say, you know what, that was me. Hey, Miss Lynn, how are you? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Happy Sunday. It's so vital. It's so vital that as women and as men, we are honest with ourselves, looking at our own self as in the mirror, and being accountable for our part. But the majority of people out there, like I said, will rather believe a lie than to put in the hard work in the truth. And the truth is that many times we're the problem. We're the problem to a lot of people in our life. Were probably the issue in a romantic relationship, why it broke up. You are probably the issue because you're not working, you're not getting your education. But those are not the things that we want to hear. I know those are not the things that I like to hear as a woman. I don't like to hear the things that I need to work on and the things that I need to do so that I can be a better quality woman. But if you are around the right people, when they say things to you, it's not going to be on an attack mode. And that's why I say all the time, it's so important who you associate with. It's so important who your friends are. It's so important to have a positive support system. And I know that not everybody's environment is going to be positive. I know that the majority of women and men out there, their environment is toxic. They have toxic relatives, or we call them family. But just because people are our family members does not mean they're good people. It does not mean those are the people that need to stay in our life. The most of the time, the people who are in our life do not deserve to be there. They don't. They don't deserve to have us in our life, you know? And we have to go about doing things to fix and to heal ourselves, to heal our situation. Hold on, guys. I just got a knock at me. There we go. Now, let me go back to the chat. Yes, greetings to the chat. Thank you all so much for being here. Happy Sunday. I appreciate every single one of you. So let's get back into talking about this topic. Lose to win in life. How many of you actually are winning in a season of winning, in a season of thriving? You know, you are in the minority. The majority of people are struggling financially, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and mentally because, yeah, we came out of the pandemic, all allegedly. We're not in a pandemic anymore, but still all of the issues that came with that, and even the things that were happening before then, we still have to assume those things as well. So let's start talking about this topic, everybody. Lose to win in life. What are some things in your life that you feel that you have lost at? And I don't mean this in a negative connotation, like your life is terrible and is awful, but we have to talk about some things that maybe we have done or things that other people have done to us that is outside of our control. That's outside of what we actually could do anything about, because some situations that happen to us in our life happens to us because maybe it was your parents, maybe you were too young or you were immature. So one of the things that we have to lose at in this life to win is sometimes we have to go through situations. We have to go through certain traumas for us to get into the part of self-awareness and self-discovery. Now, I say that you have to lose to win because if you didn't go through those situations, if certain people didn't abandon you, if certain people didn't disrespect you, and you didn't have to go through some introspection, some deep diving into your own person and asking yourself the question of who am I? What is my reason for being here? What's my purpose? If you don't go through situations that has to challenge who you are, you really won't put in the work to continue moving forward and actually elevating. So I will say that when I have had toxic relationships with relative, and also toxic relationships from employers or other people in my life, friends, quote unquote, sometimes we have to lose their relationship. We have to lose their friendship for us to find out, really, why did I think they were a good person? It's a part of reflection and maturity. When we look, why did I choose them as a friend? Why did I choose them in this relationship? Why did I feel that I deserve this job? And why didn't I feel like I deserve better? I'm going to tell you something that not many people will admit. I went through a period of my life where I believed I didn't deserve love. I didn't deserve respect. I felt like my only reason to be here was to serve others, where, yeah, you can be there, you can support and be kind to other people, be loving, support people in all aspects. But we deserve, as human beings, we deserve to be respected. We deserve to be treated kindly. We deserve all of those things. But the majority of us will not go into some reflection. And I think that it's very important as human beings that we do some reflection. Do reflection on ourselves. Am I in a good position? Am I treating myself the right way? Or am I listening to all of that white noise, all of the noise on the outside, what other people may say, the projections, the lies, the doubts, the fears, all of those things? That's why I said we have to lose sometimes to win. And one of the first things that we have to understand is we have to lose people in our life so that we can get the right ones. And for me, that's a win. You may lose maybe, some certain people won't talk to you anymore because you stop allowing their disruption, their manipulation, their lies. But then you learn who you are. You learn what you're worth. You learn that you don't have to be a doormat to other people. And I'm grateful. And when we go through situations, I can just speak for myself. I shouldn't say when we go through, but when I went through a period of time in my life where I was walked over like a doormat, not talked to, ignored, treated like trash, screamed at, yelled at, controlled, jealousy, all of those things. When we have relationships like that are very toxic and we get used, we start to take away some of that. With our self-esteem will go down. We take on maybe some of the feelings of worthlessness or some other things. So that's why I said sometimes we have to lose in order to win. We have to lose those people. And we have to go constantly on a regular basis and evaluate, why do I have this person in my life? Are they adding to my life or are they subtracting? But it takes a strong woman or man to actually go there. The majority of people will not allow themselves to go there. They won't. Most people would rather just not no confrontation. They don't want to talk about it. They want to ignore it. And let me tell you that ignoring a problem does not make it better. Ignoring a problem makes it worse. It makes it so much worse. And I grew up in a family dynamic that was very toxic, okay? My family situation was very toxic, and it doesn't mean that the people that raised me didn't love me. They didn't understand communication. They thought if they were upset or they couldn't manipulate or control how you felt, then they would be angry with you. They would ignore you. And they only wanted to talk to you when you would do what they wanted to do. So it was a control thing. So I grew up with a lot of issues because of the controlling, the jealousy, not talking and communicating when I felt a certain way, not feeling like that it was okay to want affection, to want to talk about certain things. Yes, Eunice, so very true. Thank you, Miss Lynn. Yeah, you're speaking facts. Yeah, it's so important. And I want to say this to all the ladies, all the gentlemen. Just because you've been through periods of time in your life where you've had people that don't appreciate you, just because you've been through situations where you were unloved, just because you may have been dragged through the mud. Maybe somebody dragged you through the mud. Maybe somebody tried to ruin your reputation. Or maybe, I know some people have been incarcerated behind a lie. Some people have been through situations where they had to raise their kids because the father or the mother of their child was no good, disrespectful, all of those things. So, that's why I said sometimes we have to lose in this life in order to win. You have to lose certain people. You have to lose certain habits. So now I want to talk about losing the habits. We sometimes, the way we're raised, our environment, what do we think about ourselves, our level of self-awareness, self-love, self-respect, all of that has everything to do with how we treat ourselves, how we get over things. And If you do not allow yourself the freedom to say, you know what, it's time to move on. It took me a really long time in my life at my age to be able to give myself the permission to let go. Give myself the permission that it's time to move on, you know. And we don't want to sometimes. We don't want to move on from certain individuals because we love them. But I had to understand I have to lose them. I have to lose their bad habits, their controlling nature, their jealousy, and them stopping me from being my best. Now, I had to learn this. It took me many, many years in therapy for me to come to the realization that I cannot make people love me. I cannot make people respect me. I cannot make people show up for me. I cannot make people change. I can't make people, be there the way I need them to be there for me. Either someone is going to add to your life and deposit positive things into our life, or people are going to come and take and subtract and use and manipulate and be jealous and be controlling and never be supportive of what you need. And that's why I wanted to say, like I speak on all of my channels every single time, I always bring this up. If you feel unsafe, if you feel scared for your life, please get away. Please talk to someone. Nobody should feel unsafe and unloved. I want you to know that you deserve better. I always will put out there in the atmosphere to all of my motivators family, love yourself, respect yourself. And that's one thing that I had to learn through all my years of therapy. I had no idea that I never loved myself. And that's a hard thing to say. It's a hard thing to admit, but it's the absolute truth. You can go through many, many years of your life loving other people, but not loving yourself. You got to put in some skin in the game. You have to be accountable. You have to rise to the occasion, and you have to be at a space in your life where you say, you know what? It's time for me to mature. It's time for me to heal. I'm not my past. I'm not what other people did to me. I'm not what other people said. I am who I am in the present, strong, healthy, and encouraged. See, I had to learn, when I say losing to win, I had to, when you first lose, it doesn't feel good. When you cut people off. When you cut people off, it doesn't feel good. Now, I'm not saying that. Like losing is going to feel good. It's going to be hard. It's hard to cut people off that are controlling, manipulative, toxic, narcissist, manipulators, jealous people. But you have to do that for yourself. I had to, for the first time in my life, learn to put the oxygen mask on myself. And I had to say, it's not about my siblings. It's not about this person. It's not about who you're in a relationship with. For the first time in my life, I had to give myself the permission to win. I had to give myself the permission to heal. I had to give myself the permission to live my life for the reason why I was here. And there's a lot of women and men that they go through their whole life and they never give themselves the permission to live their life on their terms. Not on the terms of your children, your significant other, your relatives, your job. No. It takes courage for you to be able to step into your shoes of womanhood or manhood and say, I'm going to be me unapologetically. I'm going to love me unapologetically. I'm going to allow myself to heal. I'm going to speak up for myself. I'm going to speak positively over my life. Now, I'm telling you, that's the hardest thing for you to be able to win at that. Because when for such a long time you've been controlled, you've been used, you've been pushed down, you've been stepped on, you've been a doormat to so many people, it's hard to change those behaviors. But you got I always tell myself, one day at a time. One day at a time. I work on myself one day at a time, and I remind myself Today, you are wonderfully made. Today, you're going to give yourself the permission to thrive. Today, you are not your past. Today, you are your present. So every day you wake up, you can't think about yesterday and who likes you and what you did and this didn't happen and why am I not like this? And we also can't compare ourselves to other people. Hey, Rachel, how are you doing? Welcome. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. You know, I had to say that to myself. I give you the permission to thrive. Miss Eunice says, that's right. You're absolutely right. You can't make people love you. And for such a long period of time, I would never give myself that permission. I would never give myself the permission to win. I would never give myself the permission to change. Now, I'm telling you, making changes in your life is one of the hardest things that you can ever do. It is so hard to make changes when you've been so accustomed to procrastinating, when you've been so accustomed to asking other people what they want to do instead of first saying, is this what I actually want to do? Is this going to help me? These are some of the questions that I ask myself every day. Is this going to help me? Is this going to heal me? Is this in line with my purpose or no? Is this going to make me stronger? Is this going to be good for my mental health? That's a question that only we can answer. And like I always say, it takes a strong woman or a man to be able to rise to the occasion and say, this is not good for my mental health. This is not something that I can afford. And I had to learn to lose to win when it came to pleasing people, when it came to financial things. I really did. I had to lose to win when it came to that. You cannot always support others financially, and you are in your own situation. You have your own bills, you've got your own responsibilities, and while sometimes you can maybe give someone a gift and support them, but there will be other people who will be big mad in your life when you stop being their personal bank. That when you tell them, no, you need to pay your own bills. No, you need to be responsible. You need to work on your own credit. And I will tell you that when you learn to speak up for yourself, when you learn to love yourself, when you respect yourself, people won't like it. They're going to get angry. They'll start talking about you, but it's okay because the right people will never leave you. They will always be supportive of you, but the wrong people won't. If somebody really cares about you, they won't go anywhere because you're elevating and you're growing. I've always found that if you have a relationship with someone and the relationship never changes, there's never any personal growth, you're not growing in the relationship, they're not growing in the relationship, you know, there should always be some growing pains in every healthy relationship. If you find that you are in a relationship with someone and you're not growing, you need to leave those people alone. I'll say it again. If you are not growing in a relationship, you need to leave those people alone. It took me a really long time for me to be able to receive that, break it down, swallow it, take it in, and actually put it into action. Because most of the time, we love our friends, we love our family, we love this person, we love all of these people in our life more than we love ourselves. And I had to ask myself, Marlene, when are you going to start winning? We can never win in this life people pleasing. We can never win in this life by telling people who don't care for us our business. We cannot win by expecting people to support us, and they've already shown you they don't care about you. They only want your money. They only want when you can do for them. But once you stop doing for them, they don't care nothing about you. That's not a friend. That's not love. That's toxicity. Hey sis, Sugar Love, how are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Happy Sunday. And that's the absolute truth. I had to learn it for myself. I had to learn that until I learned my own standards, until I learned my own business, I had to ask myself, Marlene, what do you want? And that's the same question that you have to ask yourself, motivators family. What do I want out of this life? What am I getting from this person? And not all the time you're going to get a tit for tat that they're going to put in this and you're going to get back that. It's never going to be an equal playing field, but you should be getting some benefit, emotional support, mental support, financial support, something. But when you find that everything is in the negative, if you find that it's a one-sided relationship where you're always the one, you always have to check on them. You always have to call them. You always have to text them. You always have to make the plans to get together, to go out to eat, to have some fun, to take a vacation. You're always the one pouring. You're always the one extending the olive branch. And you know, you always have to be the one to say you're sorry when something goes south, when something isn't going the right way. And for me, that's an indicator that you're dealing with an immature person. And it's not because you don't love people and you don't care about other people, but I had to learn to stop allowing other people to stop me from winning in my life, to stop me from using the path that was laid ahead for me. And there's going to be a lot of people who will come in your life and they're distractions. They will try to distract you because of their problems, because their drama, their foolishness, their everything. And we know those people. They're always dramatic. They got so much drama in their life, and they only call you when the drama has ensued. They only want to call you when something is going on. But when positive things are happening, maybe they got a job, they're in a relationship, you never hear from those people. But when negative comes, they broke up, they lost their job, this is happening, that's happening in their life, then you get a flood of calls, and you haven't heard from these people sometimes 6 months, a year or more. But they call that, and when I went through therapy, I learned it's called a relationship of convenience. Now it's convenient for them, but before then it's not convenient. When things are elevating for them and when things are going good, they kind of have like this big ego, like they're all of that and they got everything going on. They don't need you then. They don't need you when they're in the highlight reel. But the only time they need you is when they want to pay a light bill. They don't have the money. When they broke up, maybe they don't have anywhere to live. They need some groceries. They want a ride. They want something from you. That's the times you hear from them. But if you only hear from people in your life in the downward spiral, and you don't hear from them in their highlight reels, you don't hear from them when they're in a relationship, or they're happy when they got a job, when they got their education, their health is well, their kids are well, that's not people that you need to keep in your life. And I had to learn that you got to lose to win. Not everybody that comes into our life deserves to stay there. Okay? That's a life lesson, and you don't get it until you get it. No matter how much times people will tell you, why do you help them? Why do you support them? Why do you do this? And why do you do that? It's because until you get tired of knocking your head against the wall, until you get tired of being taken advantage of, until you get tired of being disrespected and ghosted, until you get sick and tired, you're going to keep accepting negativity from other people, right? And I want to tell all of you motivators, you don't deserve it. You don't deserve it. You don't deserve to be disrespected. You deserve respect. You deserve kindness. You deserve all of those things. But many times, because of our thoughts, the way we're thinking about ourselves, I went through a long period of time like that where I didn't feel like I deserved love because nobody was giving it to me. But we have to know, motivators, that love has to start with us. You have to be your own friend. You have to respect yourself. You have to have some boundaries now. Let's talk about boundaries for a little bit, motivators. If you don't have a set of boundaries, you don't have a set of rules, you don't have a set of right and wrong, Your life is never going to go in the direction that it needs to go, because if you are always waiting for others to support you and love you and tell you exactly where to go, you're always going to be dragged this, oh, go this way, oh no, go this way, and you're getting dragged and pulled this direction and that direction. No. Your life will never have any peace, any joy. You have to know what direction that you're going. And you have to tell people, no, I don't do that. I don't like it. No, I don't want to show up to that. And be unapologetic about it. Right, Eunice? Show you're right. Yes, definitely, Miss Lynn. You have to be unapologetic about yourself. You have to know what you want. You have to know what you like. You have to know what you deserve. And until you know what you deserve, you're going to be miserable. I remember I used to, like, my mental health used to be in such a terrible position, to where you start having feelings of worthlessness. You feel like you don't want to be here anymore. You start thinking really off thoughts because of the amount of stress, the amount of control. You're being controlled, you're being used, and all it takes most of the time is you didn't say no. Now, I find that saying no to people was one of the hardest things ever in my life. And it's just as simple. It's no. No, I don't want to be there. No, I don't want to talk right now. No, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to be around you. Just no. And there's no explanation behind your no. When you find that people are using you, they are taking from you, they are trying to control you, they're manipulative, they're jealous, they're all of those things, you got to cut ties. You got to let those people go, because there are certain individuals, if they can't use you like a little puppet, if they can't control your time, your money, your energy, who you go around, if they can't control that, they don't want nothing to do with you. So, like I say all the time, a thin line between love and hate. People will love you while they can use you. They will love you while they can control you. But when you start elevating your mind, when you start being your own best friend, when you learn to respect yourself, when you put those boundaries in place, when you're saying no, and also when you start paying attention to people's energy. Now, I will tell you this. This is definitely an important part of losing to win in this life. When you feel, when people come in the room, or when you talk to people, even sometimes over the phone, you can feel when somebody's energy is off. You can tell when a person is a manipulative or a controlling person. You can tell. Or when somebody's energy is off and they're acting weird, you know it, you feel it, and you know you don't like it. But will you be woman enough or man enough to say, I don't like that. I don't want to be a part of that. I don't know. And immediately cut it off. Or are you going to go by feelings? See, I will tell you something, that sometimes we allow our feelings to get the control, to get the power over us, because we want to people please. We want to make other people happy. Meanwhile, we're unhappy. And one day I was like, this makes no sense. I'm over here, I'm miserable, I'm tired, I'm stressed out, I'm angry, and they're just about their business. Most of the time, people don't even know how much they hurt us. But it's up to us as grown women and grown men to say, you're not going to treat me this way. It's going to be no. I'm not giving you my money. I'm not giving you my power. I'm not giving you my time. I'm not giving you my energy, my support, none of that, because it's about me. And not being in a selfish manner or egotistical or thinking you're better than other people. No. You know what you can afford. You know what you like. You know what is ahead of you. You know what road you're trying to walk on. And you don't allow other people to get you off track from your purpose. Now, I'm saying that sometimes when you lose to win when it comes to that, because when we go through certain situations, you're in bad relationships, bad friendships, you go through so many things in this life, you lose people that you love that pass away, and it hurts. But we learn certain things. We learn to be more independent. We learn how strong we are. We learn being courageous. We learn resilience. And we also learn sometimes when you let go of certain individuals that were just holding you down, it's like I'm trying to think of, the weight that you drop in the ocean when a ship docks. I can't think of that word, but that some people, that's how they are in our life. You can't move forward. You can't move forward. You're very stressed out. You're stuck. You're miserable. You're stressed out. You have headaches. Your mental health is not good. And you can't move forward in peace and joy and happiness because of an anchor. Thank you, Miss Eunice. Some people, they anchor you in the same place. There's no healing that happens in your life. There's no joy. There's no peace because they've anchored you in negativity. They've anchored you in making your self-esteem be low. They've anchored you into feeling like you can't do anything because they don't want to do it. See, I learned that in Losing the Win, that there are certain individuals, you can't tell them what you're doing. You can't tell them of your growth. You can't tell them of your plans and your successes, because there's going to be jealousy and resentment, and they'll try to stop you from going forward with what you want to do. So we win in our life by walking in silence, not telling people our business and our plans and what we want to do. And I want to say this to anybody who has been holding back on your dreams. If you've been holding back, if you've been hesitating, you've been procrastinating, you've been doubting, you have fears, let me tell you something. When I made a decision that I was going to take my motivation seriously, when I was going to take my counseling and my coaching seriously, nobody could stop me from that. Hi, Oracle's channel. How are you doing? Welcome. And just like anything in this life, until you make a decision as a woman or you make a decision as a man to succeed, nothing will change. Nothing will benefit. And I, for myself, had to take on believing in myself, working on my own confidence. I'm confident enough that I can do this, not because other people will accept it and receive it. So I want to say that anybody who's hesitating, there's something that you want to do in your life. There's a goal you have. There's maybe you want to do something with a business or whatever the case may be. This is something that you want to do in your life. Never let anybody in your life stop you from winning, stop you from that goal, stop you from doing something that you have that's downloaded inside of you. Never let anybody stop you from using your talents and your gifts. Never let anybody stop you from having peace in your life. I had to learn that peace was my own possession. I possess this. See, we give away our power. We give people away our peace. We give people away our business. We tell them too much. We talk too much about what we have going on. And of course, these are negative people. They're controlling people. These are people that don't even deserve to be in our life. And now you're telling them your business. So of course, they're going to try to sabotage your business. They're going to laugh about you. They're going to tell you that you can't win. They're going to tell you all of these things because they're not trying to elevate. They're not trying to grow. They are not mature. Okay? So we can't expect something from somebody that they don't possess. It's not inside of them. They don't care about it. They're not trying to do anything better. They're not seeking to improve or elevate. We cannot expect people who are not growing to grow. It took me such a long time to actually receive that concept and lock it into my mind. When we are in a season and we're trying to win, we're growing, there's things that we want to do. We want to experience peace, we're joyful, we're taking care of ourselves, we're taking care of our health. all aspects of our health, your mental health, your spiritual health, your financial health. When you are trying to grow, when you are trying to heal, when you are trying to do what is meant to be for you, your purpose, when you're stepping into your purpose, I'm telling you, those are hard shoes to step into every day. Because I don't know about y'all, but some days walking in your purpose is so difficult. Hey, Faith with Rachel, how are you? Welcome. Yes, Miss Lynn. Yes, we talk too much. I can tell you that. I used to talk way too much. If you guys could hit the like, I'd really appreciate it. We really do talk too much. Sometimes I talk, and it's because we get excited about things. But what I had to learn about this life is talk to the right people. Talk to the people who really rock with me, the people who are really doing something with their life, people who really have joy in their life, people who are at peace with themselves, people who want to see us win, people who are there clapping for us and not expecting somebody who's not wanting to win themselves. You know, that was a really hard thing for me to swallow and to stomach it and digest it, that I can't expect this person or that person to be happy for me if they're not happy within themselves. See, joy has to be something inside. See, yes, people can be in our life and they can aid in our happiness, but nobody can give you joy. Joy is a personal possession. Joy is something that comes from the spirit, you know, and it's out there, but it's just up to us to tap into it. How many of us tap into joy? You know, I always hear people talk about happiness, but joy seems to be something fleeting. It seems something evading, that people are always trying to search for joy. But I learned that regardless of my situation, whether I'm happy or I'm sad or what, that has nothing to do with my joy. My joy is on my inside. Joy is something that nobody can ever stop it. Nobody could ever take away. It's inside of me. It's my possession. And when I find that people were coming into my life and making me feel unhappy, that's something that we can do about. We can do something about it. If somebody is miserable with their own self, all you have to do simply is just shift and pivot. Remove yourself from conversations with them. Remove yourself from sharing your business. Remove yourself from going around them. You know, it's easy to pivot ourselves from negativity, but it takes a lot of courage to do so. It takes so much courage. When you see a phone call coming in and you know, when you hit that power on and you say hello, you know it's going to be negativity. You know this is going to be about controlling. You know this is going to be someone dry begging for something they want, or they're going to take. But it's up to us to say, no, don't even answer that phone call. Discard it. Actually, one of the best things that you can do, I had to tell certain people in my life, if you only call me and text me when you want something, lose my number. I don't know if everybody got that message. If you are only calling and want to talk to me when you want something, lose my number. You got to say, and that applies to everybody in your life, a job, a friendship, your kids, romantic interest. It does not matter. If you are not getting positive reinforcements, positive support, mental health support, if you don't have people saying, have you eaten? Are you okay? Do you need something? Can I help you? Can I assist you? Can I support you spiritually? If I'm not getting fed from my relationships, then that means that I'm losing. And I have to say this all the time to all of you motivators. You got to check in on how you're doing instead of always checking in on how other people are in your life. We put so much energy into being supportive, but are we being supported? See, my therapist helped me to come to that conclusion. A lot of times we are always supporting other people, loving, and we're clapping for them. We're showing up to everything for them. But when it comes to the simple things of just getting, the mental support, getting the spiritual support, sometimes you don't even want the financial support. It's just somebody just checking in to say, hey, how are you doing? How was your day? How was work? How is your health? Are you okay? Or even saying the simple words, I love you. And not I love you with conditions. I love you just because you are a part of my life. I love you just because you matter to me. See, a lot of people are conditional. They will only love you as long as you can do this, this, and this for them. But the moment you cannot give them anything financially, the moment you cannot give them rides or this or that or show up to things for them, they want nothing to do with you. And I'm here to tell you that if you have manipulative, controlling, jealous, gaslighters, love bombers, the ones, they love you. Oh, they love you so much. I love you. Hey, can you do this? I love you. Hey, can you do that? I love you. Hey, can you do that? And guess what? That love goes away completely when you stop giving them handouts. When you stop supporting them, they stop supporting you. See, that's not love. No. That's toxicity, that's using, that's manipulative, that's controlling, all of those things which we don't need in our life. So that's why I said you gotta lose to win. And we think sometimes we're losing when we cut ties with certain individuals. No, losing certain people in our life, losing mindsets and giving ourselves a new narrative. That's something that I had to learn in my losing season while we are trying to heal and work on, all of the mind control and the assumptions and the doubts and the jealousy, the negativity, just from day-to-day living as an adult. Just living to be however many years old we are. There's so much things that happen to us and we can't ignore it. Don't ignore it like, people will say, I'm okay, when you know you're not okay. Now, I'm speaking from experience. Don't go through a period always saying, oh, yeah, I'm okay. And you walk around and smile on your face and you know you're not. The one person you need to be honest with is yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror for the first time in your life and say, I'm not okay. I am not okay. And then do something about it. Get yourself a therapist. Find yourself some true support. I've found I've had more support by being part of online support groups than people who I see in my day-to-day life. They'll give me more support and more love than people you may see on an everyday basis. They will ask you how you're doing, if you're okay. I was thinking about you. And sometimes your own bloodline won't even do that. They'll look at you like, what's wrong with you? Why don't you ever smile? And if you tell them no, why can't you? Why not? You have the money. It's the control, the manipulative, the drama, the foolishness, the stress, just the stress that other people, they give you so much stress. And I no longer allow myself to go there. I no longer allow myself to stay in that mode that if someone comes at me with manipulation and control and jealousy and drama, and no, I will not allow it, and neither should you. Miss Eunice says, absolutely, it's something that no one or nothing can take away from you unless you allow it, your joy. Yes, joy is yours, I'm coming with this message to all of you motivators. Joy is yours. It's your own possession. You have to first feel, I deserve joy. I deserve peace. I deserve to take care of myself, my mental health. taking my breaks, getting my rest, getting my sleep, making sure I take care of my physical appearance, making sure I'm eating, healthy, nourishing foods. I'm drinking my water. See, first we got to take care of ourselves on the outside. And remember, we got to take care of our spirit, making sure we're tapping into spending time nurturing our spiritual needs, whatever it is that you believe in, whether it's going out in nature, whether it's meditating, getting your exercise. Yes, all of it. I want somebody to say, yes, I'm here for all of it. I'm here for all of it. Yes, peace, give me some more of that. Joy, give me some more of that. Healing my past so that I can live in the spirit. I have to say amen to that. I had to learn to heal my past so that I can live in the present, because I deserve to live in today, not yesterday, not last week, not what somebody else said about me, not the judgments. No. I deserve to live in this moment here today. Hey, Shay, how are you? Happy Sunday. And, that's something that we have to say to ourselves. I deserve to live right here in this moment because I deserve to be here. Hi, Rest in Faith. How are you? Welcome. You have to speak to yourself in the right way. I deserve to be here. I deserve to live my life. I deserve joy. I deserve to take care of me. I deserve to have peace. I deserve to not have drama. Anybody in our life that brings drama. Oh, I'm doing awesome, Rest in Faith. Thank you so much for asking. You don't deserve drama. You don't deserve to be taken advantage of. You don't deserve to be disrespected. And that's why I always say this. Make sure, okay? Make sure you're taking care of you. And in the beginning, when we cut ties with certain people, when we cut ourselves off from negativity, and we have to start reintroducing healthy things into our life, healthy mindset. Now, let me speak about mindsets for a little bit. There's only two mindsets, a positive mindset and a negative one. And I'll tell you that sometimes we don't even know that we have a negative mindset. But because of life and drama and problems and traumas, we make ourselves seem like we're so strong and we're all okay, and we're not. You don't have to put on a facade for yourself. You know how you're doing. And I had to, for the first time in my life, take that mask off and stop walking around and acting like I was smiling and I'm happy and all of these things. And I wasn't. Not now, but back when I needed help, back when I needed therapy, back when I needed to heal my spirit, heal my soul, so that I could gain some strength, so that I could be introduced to love. Now, I'm going to say this to all of you. No matter what has been told to you, I don't care. I don't care what the narrative. I don't care what your mama, auntie, cousin, friend, workmate. I don't care who, anybody in your life, what they've said, what they've spoken over your life. I don't care what you've done. I don't care who you've hurt, what you've been through. Nobody has the final say. Once you come to the fork in the road and you say, I realize my worth. I know that I am somebody. Don't let nobody tell you any different. Don't let nobody ever take you backwards. Don't ever let anybody have that power over you anymore. Because people will always try to make you want to go backwards and say, oh, you were like this and you were like that. Cut those people off. Don't even give them a moment of your energy and your time. Block them. Block their phone number. Block from going around them, because nothing in this life is worth you being taken backwards or someone pulling away from you. Yes, Rest in Faith, you are enough as well. Thank you so much. It's so important, okay? It's so important for us to know that about ourselves, because unfortunately, many people in our life do not respect us. They don't appreciate you. See, the thing about this life is most people only appreciate you when you leave them or when you're gone out of their life. That's the only time people learn how to appreciate you. It should never be that way. People only see you and appreciate you when they no longer have access to you. And that's a shame. But don't worry about those people. You move on and you leave those people in the background. Leave them in the dust and you continue. If people in your life do not give you love, kindness, support, don't make you feel appreciated and grateful for your time, your energy, and your effort, you don't need to. Can you hear me? I don't know. I don't know what happened. Oh, I had a phone call come in. Can you guys hear me now? A phone call came in, so I think that muted my mic. You can hear me now? Okay, good. Sorry about that. I put it on silent mode, but it's still, the phone call still comes in. Anyways, I'm going to continue on what I was saying. I want to say this to all of you. If there's anybody, Nolan's girl, you can hear me? Oh, yeah, you say you can hear me. Okay. I want to say this to everybody. I always love to speak over everybody's life, and I want you to speak this to yourself out loud. I love me. I respect me. I am growing. I am learning. I am deserving. I deserve to be here. I have value. Until you start to not only say it, but actually believe it and live in that, because I love me, because I respect me, because I'm worthy. Nothing is going to go right in your life until you actually believe in that. Until you believe in yourself, until you believe in you, until you say, no matter what pain, no matter what other people have done, no matter the hurt, and I know that many of us go through very hurtful and sad things and become abandoned, and lots of things happen to us, and sadness, hurt, physical ailments, and so much. And I want you to know you are enough. If nobody has not told you that today, I want you to know that you are enough. Okay? And I want to say that, and this is how I want to bring this discussion to an end. I'm going to go over to my other channel and talk about another topic. My other channel is Life with Marlene, and I'm going to be talking about a different topic. But I wanted to say that to you all as a reminder. Yes, sometimes people don't appreciate us. Sometimes we have to break up in romantic relationships and friendships, on jobs. We have to lose them. You have to get away from them. You have to get away from the negativity. You also have to lose negative mindsets. Don't let what other people tell you on the outside. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do something. Don't let anybody tell you you have less value. Don't let anybody treat you in a way that is disrespectful. You deserve the utmost. You deserve to be treated with respect, kindness, consideration, and support. And if they can't give that to you, you need to leave them alone. So yeah, while it hurts, while it's sad, while it's all of those things, but you have to respect yourself first. Love yourself, respect yourself, motivators, and lose to win. Lose them and win in your life. Win peace, win joy, win self-respect, win courage, win endurance, and win at what you're supposed to be doing in this life. And forget about all of the losses and focus on your wins. Your win is coming. Have courage. Face your fears. Don't be scared. Don't worry about the ones that will talk about you and don't like you. They're irrelevant. They don't matter anyways. What matters is you. Have the courage. Believe in yourself and know your worth. Know your worth, everybody. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for tuning in to today's motivation. I'm going to be back with you with another motivation and podcast. I'm not really sure the day. I'm thinking it's going to be Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, Faith with Rachel, Rest in Faith, Nolan's Girl, Miss Eunice, Shay Love, and anybody else who came in, Oracle's channel, and anybody who is listening in the background. I hope you found some encouragement, some strength. I want you to know that you are more than enough. Believe that from your inside. And you know what we say over here on Marlene Motivates. Just know it. Just breathe it. And be it. And live your best life. I will see you guys back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the uploaded motivated dailies that are uploaded at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll see you guys over at Life with Marlene in a few minutes. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. And those on the replay, leave me a comment in the comment section below.